Welcome back. You're now tuned into the other side of sports. I'm your host, Laws. We got my man Aaron, and we got the famous Jeremy John in the building, rocking out with us. We got a lot of stuff on tap. It's going to be an exciting show. We're gonna get into all of it. We're gonna talk a little bit of Kyrie, how he chirping with the fans. I don't know why he just ain't swing on the Bahamas, dog. Because if you're gonna do all that, you might as well go all the way. Malice in the Palace Part 2, right? We're gonna talk Kaepernick. You know, he's trying to make a comeback. Can he get on a roster? Or they gonna keep blackballing my man? And then we're gonna talk, some other stuff that we got here. First things first, right? Saw this video and I was it just disappointed me. I, it just disappointed me because the simping like activation chip that's going on right here in this video I'm about to show is beyond words. Here we go.
And I'm sure so many women can relate. Like, you want to reward that man for that work, and the only reward that you have to offer is an orgasm. But even if I didn't feel it, I would still be performative. So yes, I was faking it.
We got into like a argument, and then she was like, well, I don't be having an orgasm. She didn't say it in that. She speaks way more eloquent than I would have. And I was like, what? And she was like, I don't. I'm like, no, yes, you do. I hear it. Like, yeah, and then she was like, no, I'm faking it. I'm like, every time? And she was like, yeah. And then that just crushed me because I thought I was putting in work. Like, I'm sitting there thinking I'm, Big Daddy Long Leg.
DJ Envy, dog. What in the world, dog, is going on? Where this is okay? You just gonna publicly get your name just drugged through the mud, like in front of all these. You might as well let her change the brakes on the car, change the rotors, take the trash out, everything. What is we doing here? Is this what's cool right now in 2022? This is what you got to do to sell a book. I don't get it. Aaron, please help me, huh? Jeremy, you letting your missus go out there and just slander you for a book deal?
Nah, man. Nah, not at all. And it's so funny that of course someone's gonna say this is such a man's. This is obviously something that men would think of, but I know for sure. Like if I gotta talk about things going on in my marriage, the one thing I ain't gonna be talking about is me underperforming in certain areas. So we gonna have some boundaries on what exactly we talking about.
Even if it do happen, right? We not gonna agree and dap up that we about to go on TV and tell the whole world on a podcast what's going on in the bedroom, dog.
This her version of Red Table Talk, though. This is the move with these new modern youngins, with these beta dudes. If there's any thought that ever crosses their mind that they don't feel free to express, they feel oppressed. This is the world we live in now. So whatever it is that come across their mind, they feel like they should be able to state that joint to the world. And he's sitting there co-signing it. That's the worst part. Like, this is a conversation you have in your house. Like, hey, babe, I want to put this in the book. And you supposed to veto that joint off the break.
You be like, nah, dog. Because, Young, I'm telling you, Bama's coming at radio with that same energy towards him. Like, dog, you can't even control your house. How you gonna try to regulate me sitting over there in the chair? Your house in disarray, dog. You don't have no power there. So how you gonna have power here? Like, it just.
And how bad is the relationship that your wife feels like she got to fake the drink for you for years and years and years, to where you think you out here scoring 40
slaying,
and you really did not play. DMP. Like, there's a vast difference from every once in a while. She said every single time.
Yeah,
so
man,
that just
that's
tells
the
you
problem.
about the nature of their relationship, the trust, the fact that they can't have a conversation about what she liked, and this Bama is definitely not coming from the hip with it. So it's so many factors that play into this drink before you even get to telling the world your husband get a BDR. It's crazy.
So DJ Envy
Not
was running the
once.
streets at one point.
Apparently
And I
not well.
guess he
Why you out here running the streets practicing and you coming home and you still get DMPs?
you can't
Damn.
you can't get a bucket. You like Chris Paul versus Scott Foster, dog. You can't get a
Muggsy
W,
Bogues,
dog.
that's what he like. If you can't get a W one time out of 100 games, the game just ain't in you, dog.
Even if you got no W's, we not about to get on here and hold hands and tell the whole world what's going on behind the scenes, dog. That junk.
He cheated on her and she stayed. So she felt like she got the Infinity Stones to be able to do whatever she wants.
Damn.
And she knows she got a beta
man.
type dude. She knows she got a
He
beta.
baited, dog. He
One
baited.
of them beige noodle back type dudes. So you already know. You already know.
Dog, his back noodles, dog.
Dog, it's no
bad.
way.
It's bad. The opposite of noodle back is this youngin out in Florida, dog. This youngin, Mary Gundle, dog, she's going after Dollar General hot and heavy. So I'm gonna just play this clip so you can just get a little synopsis of what's going on with her. Cause when I tell you afterwards, y'all gonna laugh. But let me watch this video.
From Dollar General to TikTok, a Tampa Bay store manager has gone viral. She says her videos were meant to show how difficult it is to lead a store when hours and employees are limited. And now she's trying to help steer public opinion so the company will make changes for employees who are still there.
By pressing record and send.
A lot of customers really don't understand what it's like to work for this company.
Mary Gundle got herself fired.
It's time for a change. Things need to change.
But also showcased life as the manager of the Dollar General at 301 and Martin Luther King in Tampa.
Here by myself till 2 o'clock, and a mystery truck shows up. So now I've got to handle the front with all my customers and then go back here and deal with my truck trying to unload.
Over 6 videos totaling 18 minutes, she's told millions of viewers on TikTok about staffing levels and workload and asked this of customers.
Why don't you demand more from the company so that way they start actually funding the stores to be able to get all of this stuff done?
We met Gundle outside her former store. She's now wearing a shirt that says hashtag put in a ticket to mock Dollar General's employee complaint system.
I want fair treatment for Dollar General employees. I want fair wages for them.
Dog, the store she work at is in a hood in
You
Florida.
heard MLK. You already know.
Dog.
It's on MLK.
So young, she was telling stories about how like she would go to work. Bamas would be wrecking in the parking lot type stuff at a store that one of her friends works at. A Bama got shot outside the store, and she like basically caught him. And when as an employee you call in, they be like put in a ticket, and then that's it. Like they were like, can you bring security to the store so I can feel safe? They just had one Bama working in the Dollar General like solo. Dog, I thought about this job. I was like, ain't there a Dollar General near you, Aaron? Right there on the
Right
corner?
around the corner. That's the first thing I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dog, first of all, this is a real thing. Bama's on TikTok. I was going scrolling through TikTok, young. That put in the ticket jump is getting heavy traction. She on the news. They had a Yahoo report on the jump. Dog, Dollar General, they feeling the heat because they start, of course, when the big companies start feeling the pressure, they try like do the little under the table. Like apparently somebody like called her and was like, hey, can we talk about this, blah, blah. And then she was like, yeah, I'm going to record the conversation. And they was like, oh, well, we'll call you back when you're ready to just talk open and freely. Like, you know what I'm saying? They doing the funny business to try to get her. But ultimately, right? And I tweeted to Bama who owned Dollar General, young, because I got the answers. I said, dog, hit me up. I'll give you the answers to your problem. Quick. I know how to solve it. It's an internet problem. And you can't beat the internet fighting. You can't fight the internet. You can't fight people. It's a failed model. You saw what they did when they killed Jesus Christ. the Bama got more and more followers, dog. It just went bananas. You couldn't stop the flames, dog. I'm trying to tell you. When you try to fight against the people, especially like people like her, you know what I'm saying? She actually was a stellar employee. She got awards and everything, medals. They honored her and stuff like that.
They give
Dog,
out
you
medals
can't-
at Dollar General?
Yes, dog. Don't make her
Employee of the Month
Employee of the
awards.
month, all that type of stuff. Don't make her a martyr. I'm telling you, it's going to fan out of control, and it's already started. So, you know, of course, these big companies, they think that they have all the answers. They don't want to listen to nobody. They just going to try to press her out and try to find dirt on her, whatever. Like, the youngin been on TikTok heavy. She already kind of started a union. Like, because the conditions at Dollar General was so bad, Aaron. Dog, Bama's was like hitting her up that work at other Dollar Generals talking about their conditions that day. And of course, people don't not trying to get fired. So they're like hiding behind, you know, because it's social media. You can hide behind a hashtag and stuff like that. And nobody have to know who you are. But they like taking videos of the store and be like, look at this. This junk crazy. Like, how am I supposed to do this and work in the back? It's falling apart, you know. And now they scheduled on May 8th or May 7th or something like that. They scheduled a walkout for the employees. Dog, if that happened,
Protest at work?
dog,
You know
Protest
what?
at work?
hey dog, stop it.
Dog,
Endorsed by who?
Dog, they can't listen. Hold on, let me be clear. They can't protest in the morning and then come back at 2:00 in the afternoon
And clocking.
and clock back in.
They need the bread though, dog. If you in a life situation where you work in a Dollar General as an adult anyway, one, you don't make good decisions, you don't have good judgment. So
Damn.
stop. Harold.
Damn, Aaron.
Stop, dog. These hardworking citizens, dog.
They hard working
Trying to-
now because they didn't work hard when they were supposed to be working hard in school. No, this is fact. No, tell me if I'm lying.
But this is the same mentality as why the top of the company not trying to bend or break to the demands
Because they don't
think-
have to, because they have
but
no
it-
leverage, because they got no
Dog,
money, and she probably got kids.
Hey, look, Ern, I'm
Look-
telling you, it's different, dog. When these flames start to fan, dog, they had a truck. This trucker lady got on that junk. I've been watching the junk. This trucker lady got on. It was like, I will not be shopping at Dollar General ever again. And all my trucker buddies that rock with me,
Let
let's
me ask you a question.
defend this woman who's a hardworking.
Let me ask you a question.
You know these blue collars, dog. They go hard by you. Saw the Trump supporters march on the Capitol, dog. No, we ain't going to
First of
talk
all, they're
about.
not storming nothing for Dollar General. Let's stop there. Secondly, dog, when George Floyd got killed and you saw all the protests in the street, stuff going crazy, you thought there was going to be a lot of change coming. Tell me two things that changed. No, the internet is not a real place. It's the metaverse, like we was talking about yesterday, dog. It's not a reality, dog.
Yeah,
Bama's
no,
get
somebody-
upset, bitch and complain, and it's gonna be the same. She gonna be
If
clocked
my
in.
fans out, any of the fans out there, I need to make an NFT, dog. Y'all gotta teach me about the metaverse. Dog. I'm so ignorant, dog. Dog, I hit youngin told me at work that they buying land in the metaverse, dog. They buying land.
And
for
that's exactly what this
Bitcoin
is.
and Ethereum. I'm like, dog, buy up all the land in the metaverse and let me get the real land in reality, dog. These bad
They're
boys
running
on
out of the
on
real
Oculus-
land. That's why they doing the metaverse. But dog, nothing gonna come from this joint. It's gonna die
Oh,
down.
so
It's gonna be some new
so
stuff
never
in the
gonna
news cycle.
happen.
Like this is
mean-
not exclusive to this lady. Like it's trash work conditions for a lot of these jobs where they not paying the employees as much. These service industry jobs, dog.
Yeah, they
that's just the
doing
way
crap.
life is. Like Dollar General is not special in regards to that. But they
So
have
you-
no leverage because they don't have any real skills, dog. And that's why you got to make
So
good
you got
decisions.
no, but this is the thing. You making hand over fist money as Dollar General. You got one employee running the whole store.
That's
right?
how they
And
make
every-
money,
That's
Harold.
how it is.
Exactly.
They want money around the
But I'm
corner.
saying, but I'm saying though that's not a sustainable like way to kind of sustain the money maker, dog. One Batman and jump running the whole. You're not getting inventory. You don't even know how much items and stuff you have in each of the stores. You just shoving stuff in there and like, yeah, just sell it, whatever.
Man,
That
Harold,
Dollar General
man.
by you, that don't seem like it was okay though. Like they
But this the thing. That
But that
Dollar
joint is
General
in the
been there.
hood, too.
The stores
Yeah, that
on
joint
both
is-
sides. been
joint in the hood.
changed into different stores and different other business models, but Dollar General
That's
been
facts.
there.
That's
Concrete.
facts, Aaron. I know
So,
which one
dog,
you
like,
talking about.
I understand what you saying, Harold, but in the real world, that stuff don't matter. The Bama's with the bread got the bread for a reason, because they snakes and they don't care. Anything to get the bread and keep the profit margins where they are, and so they can report those earnings and try to get the stock up. They don't care about none of that stuff y'all talking about. She could cry, she could march, she could do all she want to do. Dog. The most they're gonna do is hire at another store with a little bit of a raise and a new title. Outside, the rest of the Bama's is not getting.
Yeah, I know that's the tactic, dog. They just pluck her from the flock and give her a raise, give her some money, and make her a hero. They be like, yeah, oh, they brought her back, they rehired her. Like that's
Right.
that's the move. That's how they get
That's
you
why they
every
want her
time.
recording, because they wanted to be able to say, hey, look, we understand where you're coming from. It's a little rough over there. We're gonna put you in our store over here on the other side of town. You know what I mean?
Where they don't
instead
bust
of
shots.
manager, we're gonna name you regional manager. You know, we're gonna give you a $15,000 pay increase.
Area
Took that drink
coordinator.
and Shut up.
Area coordinator.
Give her a car.
Dog,
A new Toyota Camry, dog.
The East Tampa coordinator, not even the whole city. The East Tampa coordinator.
You know how it goes,
dog,
dog.
you
They
know,
got the same book and
they,
blueprint.
no, they do the move every time. But that's the thing. I think people getting hip to it though.
But it don't
If you
matter.
get-
'cause
No, if they get a walkout, a legitimate walkout, that junk gonna hurt the bread. Don't
I'll
tell
say
me
this,
it's not gonna
Harold.
hurt the bread.
I'll say this, Harold. The pandemic has really opened the eyes of many working class and service employees, because they're kind of like, look, we're dealing with some real stuff where we had to work during the height of the pandemic. Some of them even lost jobs in the beginning. We're getting paid more with unemployment. I know for a fact I took advantage for a few months because of that. And now you're coming back and you're still dealing with these conditions. Nah, man, we're gonna have, it's gonna be more likelihood. It's gonna be a higher likelihood that you're gonna have employees actually do a walkout for an extended period of time, whether that be a few hours, whether that be the whole day, compared to 2 years ago where it might be one or two people in the store might do it. I think you might
that's a fact.
you might get more, but the ultimate prize, like Aaron is saying, I don't think it's going to get to where you're just changing the whole industry. I think there'll be some changes, but you're not changing the whole industry.
Yeah, you're right.
they're gonna lose
I
$30
mean,
in revenue, and it's gonna be same business as usual.
the hood is the hood, dog. I mean,
Right? What you want them to do about that?
dog, high security. Well, she went
said
and
it's one
said
dude.
so they fired the girl because I guess the other girl that worked at the other hood store, like they found out she was posting too, so they fired both of them, and then they put, you know what I'm saying, they put Whitey in the jump, and then they put security in the jump. So she called him out and was like, well, how y'all gonna do that when this girl was been working there for so long, and then you switch, and you know how you gonna explain that, Dollar General? You put the white person in there and then you provide security for them. So she coming for their neck.
And she wouldn't have cared about that in any other realm of life other than it helps her argument. Like, stop.
Stop, come on.
Stop.
Man, this is the dirty game of capitalism. There's perks and there's some
dirty
disadvantages, man.
It's a dirty game.
Stay in school.
Speak.
I second that, man. I had to change my ways in my life, man.
Yo, speaking of dirty game, dog, are we ever going to see Colin Kaepernick again? Will we see him again?
I don't think so, man. It's too
Let's
many years, man.
Let's watch this clip. They had him on the I Am Athlete, and they asked him about what he would say to GMs to come back into the league.
The message for GMs and owners, and you wanted them to know anything right now, what would you say?
Let's role play. Talk to me. I'm the GM. Come on.
We're doing method acting?
Yeah, come on, watch this, because I'm the GM. Let's play it. Let's go.
We got you here today.
So let me come in and compete. I mean, you have your roster, you had a team. Let me come in, compete, show you what I can do.
Well, Cap, you know, football, it's all about eliminating distractions. Like, how do I know if I bring you in and I sign you, that you're going to make my locker room better, that you're going to bring us together?
One, you can know by experience. My coach, Jim Harbaugh, spoke to it. My coach, Chip Kelly, spoke to it and said that I made the locker room better. I came in, I prepared, I made the team better. That 2016 season, my last year, my teammates voted me the most courageous and inspirational player. So when you're talking about the people that are actually in the building, that has never come out that have been a distraction. It's never come out that have been an issue from the people I played with.
Cap, can I keep it real with you, Cap? This is between you and I. Don't tell nobody. $16 billion industry, Cap. What about our fan base? What do we say to our fan base? Like, what are they going to say?
I say you have end racism in the back of your end zone. You got Black Lives Matter on your helmet. Everything I've said should be in alignment with what you're saying publicly. It's a $16 billion business. When I first took a knee, my jersey went to #1. When I did the deal with Nike, their value increased by $6 billion. $6 billion. With a B.
With a B.
With a B.
So we acting. Come on, stay in mode.
Talk that talk, man.
You broke character. You broke character.
Talk that talk.
So if you're talking about the business side,
it makes sense.
It shows beneficial. If you're talking about the playing side, come in, let me compete. You can evaluate me from there. The NFL is supposed to be a meritocracy. Come in, let me compete. If I'm not good enough, get rid of me. But let me come in and show.
Let my man compete. Is he gonna get a job? That's to me, that's a convincing argument by Cap.
Is it a new argument?
It's not new.
No.
But time has passed though. And I think like the Bama touched all the points. Because if you're a GM, you're thinking about how the fans gonna receive it. One, you think about the money, how the money's gonna get impacted and the business revenues, right? And then you think about your team and your locker room. Now, I don't think it'll be a problem on the locker room side. I think that's
it never was.
I don't think that it'll be a problem on the business side. I think you bring Kaepernick to your team, your revenues are going to increase. That's a fact. Now, the fan side, it just depends on what fan you're talking about. Because we have different kind of fans, right? we have fans like ourselves who, you know, look at things from a very objective standpoint, and we, you know, players are players, and we just try to look at it and take it as face value. And then you have people who only see color and are so tied to the way things used to be that they don't want nothing to do with Cap. And those people have a loud voice when you talked about the fan base that the NFL caters to, right? You saw it in the Super Bowl. As soon as they brought on Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Mary J. Blige, you saw that the tweets was going ham to try to just basically criticize the NFL for bringing in, you know, these black artists to perform. So clearly they have say in what happens with the NFL and stuff that's going on. I think that's probably the most critical thing that's keeping Kaepernick from having a job.
You ain't touch on WME.
Aaron, enlighten me, Aaron. Enlighten me.
Nah, you enlightened already, though. You ain't touch on that. And you know that's the number one reason he doesn't have a job, though. These Bamas is like Sun Tzu. They want to destroy completely. They trying to make an example out of a Bama. If you get out of line, if you don't toe the company line, they will destroy you completely. And another thing that you kind of dismiss about a lot of these GMs and owners, they're not worried about the fans as much as they more racist or as racist, these GMs. You know how pissed off they were when they saw him kneeling and all these anonymous comments from damn near every GM in the league. And we heard comments from Dan Snyder and Jerry Jones. Like, these Bamas is flat out racist. And they don't want there to be any progress. So, like, they dismiss it as business when that was proven wrong. He signed that Nike deal years ago, and we saw that stock jump. And then you also saw, like, the fact that it's no way that they can paint this off as anything other than they don't want him to be in their locker rooms. It's like if we was to go sign a Bama that's a clear racist, in one of our circles and then have to have the conversations with the Bamas we around, like this Bama Harold Coonan, dog. Like, why you know what I mean? Like, why you break the why you break the line, dog? Like, why would you go sign this Bama? That's how they are. That's how they talk about us in their circles. Like, can you imagine what them group chats look like in those owner meetings with no other black faces in there? So, dog,
Aaron, we already saw it with Gruden and the stuff he said about like that's come out.
So this Bama lips look like Michelin tires, like, and this was 11 years ago.
Yeah, man. For the record, I don't think Kaepernick is going to return, and it's not going to be anything on his fault. I think honestly, at this point, the only excuse these people have now is it's 6 years now since you last played, and they're going to use that excuse now because honestly, and I did a ranking going into this coming season, which is strictly starting quarterbacks. And I did it as a 5-tier with 1-star, 2-star, all the way up to 5-star. And I'm just going to use the veteran quarterbacks first that I know that Kaepernick, if giving some time in a training camp, will be better week 1. Mason Rudolph, Drew Lock, Jared Goff. At this point in his career, Cam Newton, Marcus Mariota. Those are just the vets. I'm not even counting Zach Wilson, Daniel Jones, Davis Mills, Justin Fields. I believe he's going to be good, but at the moment he's not. That's what it is. Mac Jones. I think Kaepernick, if you just gave him a couple weeks with a team, can play better than Mac Jones. Tua Tagovailoa. Matt Ryan's on the last end. Matt Ryan might be the guy where it's like, okay.
Don't slander my man. Don't slander my man.
Look.
Matt Ryan,
Harold, you ain't going to be the only one. People been slandering me, but I don't think Matt Ryan's really that good anymore. Like, I don't think he is. And I think if Kaepernick, if given a legit shot in a training camp, is going to battle with him. It ain't going to be clear. But I just named a whole bunch of quarterbacks. That's
at least 10
that I named for sure. That he is better than. It's just the only excuse is now he's just been out of the game so long. Oh, well, he is better than Heineke, but remember the Commanders have, Wentz, and I mean we could they have Wentz, so
go ahead, dog. Stop.
But yeah, like he is, for the record, he is better than those guys. Like he is.
Okay.
Or was.
I guess you have to say was.
It was a long time ago.
I guess you have to say
how long has he been out the league? Since when?
6 years. Was his last
2016 was the last year. Yep.
We at 2022. Yeah, they not letting him back, dog.
I think he's gonna get I think he's gonna be on a camp this summer.
You do?
I do.
Whose camp? Steelers
I think
camp?
it's going to be important to see what happens in the draft, which comes up next week. And I think that's going to determine if Seattle was in a place to make a move like that, if the Steelers are in a place to make a move like that, if Las Vegas is in a place to be able to make a move like that. Because remember, he played at Las Vegas in college. It's just, I think there are a handful of teams where it wouldn't be a storm the Capitol moment for their white fan base. And I think just to be able to say they gave him a shot, and also I think they would get more benefit from him going out there and being sorry after being gone for as long as he's been gone than just.
I think that's part of it too. It feel like they just trying to keep him out as long as they can to when like Father Time just it's like the default. Like you
Father Time here. He been out the league 6 years. This ain't like you could just go play pickup and then come back and just be who you were. Right. He was already kind of on a downside as far as injuries and performance that last season that he played. So
they want to stand
him to come back. He would probably stink right away. I'm not saying if you gave him the time and let him get his legs back under him, he really needs a season in an off season to get acclimated.
And the thing is, I think if they brought him back, they're not even giving him the benefit. Like he'll be on the shortest leash any NFL player has ever had in the entire history of the NFL.
And we've seen them manufacture a failure for black quarterbacks. Like we see it here. Like there's certain things you can say and leak to certain media people. You can control his minutes, his throws, him playing with the second and third team in preseason versus playing with the one. It's a lot of things you can do if you're smart to kind of manage the way a player looks or is presented as looking to the fans and to the media. And you can spin the narratives to go along with it. So I think at this point, they're pretty sure he's not going to be what he was when he took San Fran to the Super Bowl or back in 2012. So I think a team is going to take a chance. And it also is going to check another box for them to be able to say, see, we told you he couldn't play anymore. I think that's more viable to them than the end of his career and making him a martyr.
Oh, plot thickens, dog. The plot thickens. The other day, this happened.
Kicks it out. Smart fakes. Inside. Tatum spins and he puts it in. Celtics go up by one.
The Boston Celtics steal game one from the Brooklyn Nets, dog.
On a
The
layup.
Bama on a layup. Kyrie was going hamburger no cheese for that game, dog. Like it's literally like his icon was blinking. Bama came down, hit a tray, came down, hit another tray, came down, got another bucket somehow. Even though he was assisting on the bucket, his icon was blinking. The jump was on fire. NBA Jam Part 2, dog. He just couldn't
Was it
miss.
blinking on defense when he was bullfighting at that layup that just happened?
Yo,
Replay that one more time for us.
Kicks it out. Smart fakes. Inside. Tatum spins and he puts it in. Celtics go up by one.
honestly, it happened so fast, though.
Basketball is fast.
Dog, but this is what I'm saying. Aaron, you know how it is when the Bama hit the game point on you and you just
I know
was
how
out
it
of
is
position.
when you on the weak side of the floor and somebody cut behind you for a layup. Would you ever got benched in college? HBCU, you getting benched.
Dog.
That's first day install.
But
KD too, because KD eyes was somewhere they weren't supposed to be for
Kicks it
the.
out. Smart fakes. Inside. Tatum spins and he puts it in.
He's saying it's
That's bad
KD
defense.
fault too.
They both
They're
play
the
bad
biggest
defense.
players.
Dog, I don't know, man. I've only been on the end where I'm scoring the game winning bucket on a Bama, not
Oh,
not
you're
vice
not
versa.
cut behind you
Dog,
for a
no,
layup
sir.
to win the game.
First of all, I'm glassing that jump. At Kyrie height, at 6'2 and a half, 3. As soon as he spin
on a 6'8
he gonna-
Bama.
He gonna think he
You
got it,
glassing.
and I'm glassing it, dog. Dog, you cannot let the Bama score at that juncture of the game.
Not in that way. He got to hit a
Not
jump
that way.
shot, a fadeaway.
You gotta shoot
He
over
can't
me,
go
dog.
right past you while you bullfighting and then lay it up.
Under no circumstances, dog. And then Kyrie during the game, fans was chirping at him, and he basically was chirping back. And we got this. He fans is talking to him. Bama gives him the flips the birds to the fans, and then of course the fans like oh, and then he's like mocking them and stuff like that. And then in the locker room, somebody says something to him, and then Bama says, SMD, you already know. and so people are like criticizing Kyrie, saying that he was out of line and stuff like that. I don't know that I necessarily subscribe to that. He was out of line. Dog, the fans be feeling like they cannot get touched, dog. They think they in the metaverse too, in real life sometimes, and they be yelling at Bamas. And first of all, it's Boston, so we not gonna act like Boston ain't one of the most racist cities in America. And he said, some of the stuff that they were saying to him, like, you mother effing suck and this and that. But dog, I'm sure there was other stuff too. We heard stories at the baseball stadium how they was yelling the N-word at the Bamas on the field
banana
and
peels.
talking super reckless, right? And here you are at arm's length. I mean, Kyrie ain't no force. I'm not saying he a threat to be reckoned with, dog. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's a pro athlete.
He is. If you work at UPS or you working at a desk and got courtside
that's a
seats,
fact. That's a
he's
fact.
mopping any of them, Bama.
Yeah,
Man,
you're right.
Let
He
me
washing them.
let me say this. Kyrie Irving didn't say anything or really. I mean, I'll say okay, he was obvious with the middle finger, but when it
He
comes
got
to what
fined
he's
$50,000.
yeah, to talk about what he actually said to fans. I mean, that just tells me you've never actually sat courtside at an NBA game. That what he literally says is said literally every game by an NBA player. I mean, I've heard LeBron say worse. I even heard, and this was in the Wizards' day, because I was close enough to the floor, Michael Jordan say stuff worse to people. Like so your heroes have done this.
No, but
people,
they like them though. That's the thing. Kyrie, people don't like him, even though the Bama job beat the game because he didn't get vaccinated, despite how you feel about it.
Well,
he
go
didn't
ahead.
get vaccinated, and then he came out fine and free. Like he playing now, and he got his way. And people don't like that. When you get your way at Osman Chevrolet, they want to have you suffer and basically bend to the pressure like everybody else. And so, despite how people feel about Kyrie, is he a weirdo? I mean, people calling him weirdo and stuff like that. I mean, if you feel that way, okay. But at the same token, the Bama is probably top 3 scorers in the league on the basketball court. And you mocking the Bama like he just going to stay in a shell. You say something to me, I'm born again Christian, and I might even say something a little like, "Hey Joe, I'm gonna need you to shut up or stop talking for it get real greasy out."
We've said things worse at Beltsville's gym to people that we know.
That's what I'm saying, and the
to
thing
people
is,
that we know.
and the Malice in the Palace. You had Bamas lay hands on people. You thought people would have learned a lesson. Stop talking to these Bamas, dog. Just because you pay for a ticket don't mean you can say any and everything. Because I'm telling you, some of them Bamas, I mean, we talk about the emo, like, soft type Bamas in the league. It's a lot of them. But it's some real ones in there, dog.
I've said it for a while now. Every once in a while, there needs to be a Malice in the Palace. Every once in a while. Like somebody needs to. Yeah, man, because it's getting out of hand. I mean, we saw literally as soon as they opened the arenas last spring, we had like 4 incidents in a week where people were doing stuff. You had someone throw the bottle or a cup at Kyrie. You had someone throw popcorn on, there was someone got popcorn thrown on him. Then they had Trae Young got spit on. And then there was another one all in the first round of the playoffs last year. Like every once in a while, things need to happen. And look, I just find it interesting, and it's a little tangent, but I find it interesting that sports fans kind of glorify that brawl back in the 70s with the Bruins at Madison Square Garden, where homeboys was going over the glass and kicking people and hitting them with their own shoes. But when the Malice of the Palace came, it was, man, these thugs. And we know why. We know why that is done. But it's like, I just find it interesting. We could go on YouTube and find them fighting fans back in the 70s, at a hockey game and just fighting in general. But let there just be some pushing and shoving in an NBA game. And it's what's going on. Like these overpaid thugs, like we know why, but it's still frustrating.
They need it. What do they do?
Like not even they got to take one of them jokers and he got to be on the floor in 4K getting mopped, and that'll fix everything. Not one of them joints where you like it was kind of blurry in the Palace. You couldn't really see who was catching the hell that bit. You need him in 4K
Jermaine O'Neal gave back. It was Steven
and then
Jackson
the camera
gave
panned the media.
Me 2-piece to back.
We want to see a Bama get stomped out like Kane stomped out homeboy on Menace to Society, dog. We gotta see it like that.
8K, Aaron, in 8K, not just 4K.
Right.
We need it on that 8K camera.
Dog, you need a playoff mollywop, a Suns and 4 on a playoff game jump where Bama get finished on the floor. Dog, but I don't.
Off the bench too.
But that's the thing. Yeah, it got to be a bench, Bama. You literally got to go in the game and be like, "Hey, dog, we gonna take care of all the money you gonna have to pay. Don't worry." But we need this for the whole league. This needs to happen. It gotta be Udonis Haslem or somebody.
Right. Because you get the 2-year suspension. You get
no,
the 2 years.
You getting kicked out of basketball completely. You're not gonna be able to come back, dog, for a minute. So, but something's got to give. They got. I mean, I know that they were trying to crack down on it, and actually, you know, if you're a player and you, because we seen what's his name, Montrezl Harrell get a fan removed out of the Wizards, Joe. He just was like, hey, him right there,
LeBron famous
gotta
for
go.
it. Rondo's famous
right
for
in
it.
front of me.
Russ is famous
He got
for
two
it.
Bammers removed.
Yeah, get him out of here. And like that needs to be the motto, like to where you just got to be quiet, dog, and watch the game. And
I don't agree with that. You ain't got to be quiet, but you got to be respectful. Like it reminds me of people being in a car. They'll get much more disrespectful and feel safer talking crazy or gesturing or doing whatever than if you walk past a Bama on the street. Like it's a hierarchy. When a Bama is 6'5", 6'9", 250, 275, these little white boys going to give you a certain amount of respect because there's always a low-level threat of violence. If you say something too egregious or do something egregious, you might get your mouth stomped in. They feel like they're there, and because of the money these Bammers don't want to lose, they can do things that they wouldn't normally do as a respectful human being just in society.
yeah,
And that's where the issue is.
yeah, they like
But
I'll
they
get
should
paid
be able to,
if
you
he
know,
hit
you-
me. What
You
Jay-Z
can say you
see?
sorry. Yeah, you can say you sorry or you stink, but when you talking about people, wife and kids and calling them niggas and monkeys and all this other kind of stuff, that's a different level of foolishness.
Yeah, you right, dog. You right. Playoff game tonight, Scott Foster versus Chris Paul. Not the Pelicans versus the Suns, but Chris Paul versus Scott Foster. Chris Paul is 0-13 in the last 13 playoff games officiated by Scott Foster.
That's
Does he
amazing.
get a W tonight?
Man, if he gets a loss tonight, then we know for sure Scott Foster.
Dog, hold
just
on.
hate
Dog,
this
what does
man.
Scott Foster have against Chris Paul, dog? What did he do?
He be calling him for ticky-tack
He strike his
fouls.
daughter or something? Like, what did he do, dog? To where this man is out to get him for the life of his career. Dog, 0-13 is not no coincidence. You cannot convince me of that. There's no way. Just like I know the fan duels and stuff, all of them, like it's all rigged, dog. They got Bammers and computer systems behind, and like it's a whole funny business they doing, dog, with the whole fan duel, Joe. I don't want to break Bama's bubbles, but it's a whole scam, dog. It's a whole scam. It's regular people on there, but they got people that work for the company that's entering the leagues and stuff like that, dog. Because I see the same people all the time. Like, I'm like, okay. And dog, and some of the, like, this the thing. If you have a I just gotta go on this rant real quick. If you have a fan duel, like let's say they say it's 400,000 people in one of the fan duel jumps and you can win money, right? If 10,000 of the 400,000 Bammers is bots that they put in the jump, and they do like, they do all the calculations of what is statistics of each player and how much they'll score and stuff like that, though. I'm telling you, the likelihood that them bots is gonna beat you is high. It's high, dog, because they factor in numbers and all type of information you can't factor in, dog. So it's all a scam. I'm just letting the people know. 0-13, last 13 playoff games. It's funny business going on, dog. Does Chris Paul get a W tonight? They're a far superior team. They're better than the New Orleans Pelicans, I believe. They showed it in game 1.
Yeah, they're gonna win, man. Pelicans really, the fact that they were the 9th seed and had to win 2 games. In one of those games, they were behind in the fourth quarter to a team that did not have Paul George and, of course, Kawhi Leonard. They shouldn't even be there. This series is a sweep. So yeah, the Suns will win. Now the question is, what's going to happen later in the postseason when Scott Foster is on the officiating crew? That's the question we got to ask. But for tonight, Chris Paul and the Suns are going to get a win.
All right, you think they're going to get a win? I think the Scott Foster saga continues.
I think Brandon Ingram going to get 40 tonight, and we got to find a way to get him on the Wizards.
It's not happening, bro. How are we gonna get him on the Wizards? Who we gonna give up?
Kuzma, Rui, a one, whatever they need, dog. Whatever they need.
You know, I want Banchero now. That's my man, Paulo. I don't know how they gonna get it done, dog.
I think the Suns have to win just to get this out of the way because the Pelicans have no threat of winning the series anyway. So they almost have to force a win just so people can shut up about this.
Oh,
they don't need help though. No, they don't need no help against the Pelicans. Not from the refs.
They don't. You got the Pelicans tonight. What's the other game that comes on tonight?
I looked at the schedule.
The 7:30 Joan is 7:30 game is let's see here. NBA Hawks and Heat. Yeah, Heat blew the doors off the Hawks first game. They shut down Trae Young.
Didn't he have 8 points? Something crazy.
Yeah, he got strapped. I just think the Heat are a better team. Nobody's really talking about the Heat. Heat was the number 1 seed in the East, and people just kind of overlooking them. But I think the Heat got a nice roster, honestly.
Yeah, me too. I just don't think people like Jimmy Butler as a one. For some reason, it's just something about him people don't like. Maybe that he can't shoot like that. But,
he's tough.
Yeah.
He get buckets, dog. He get buckets. He played hard. It feel like he's the juice for the team. Like he gives the team grit. Cause you take Jimmy Butler off that team, I feel like they soft.
I feel like he's like the TO of the NBA now, where it's like he comes, he gives you instant production. Your team is automatically better, but he rubs the locker room the wrong way somehow by how much I feel like how hard he plays and how much he expects out of everybody else. So it's like for him to say, and he goes into situations where people have been there, been teammates, already have relationships. And then when the best player on your team is somebody from outside, and then, you know what I mean, they making comments and all these other kind of things about the culture of the team, it just rubs guys with those kind of egos the wrong way. Go ahead.
I have a question, and this stemmed from a conversation literally today on Clubhouse. Is Jimmy Butler a top 25 NBA player right now?
Yeah.
He's not the most skilled, but as far as overall player and outcomes, he's a top. I say he's top 15.
All I'm gonna say is in the room, it wasn't as clear as that.
Dog, but them clubhouse Jones is full of idiots. We just gonna keep it on.
That's all I'm gonna say, man. It wasn't clear.
And you can share this with them, dog. I don't care. A lot of them clubhouse bammers don't know an iota of what they're talking about. Jimmy Butler.
I'm gonna tell you who. I'm gonna tell you after the air, after we get off air, who which NBA player did not believe he was top 25.
Oh, an NBA player said he was?
Yes. I'll tell you off the air.
No, I'm going to just say this. Right? You got KD, James Harden, you got Kyrie, you got Steph, Antetokounmpo.
Did you say LeBron yet?
LeBron. Then after that, dog.
He might be better than Harden at this point in his career.
He right there.
You know, I was a Harden guy, but he might be better than Harden at this point.
No, and the thing is, this is what I look for, right? The Bama, he carries his team to wins, dog, and W's, right? And his presence on the floor is, you cannot deny it. The Bama is a presence on the floor. He makes stuff happen. You can't just go and play and be like, oh, we're not going to worry about him. No, you cannot do that.
A lot of the stuff he does doesn't show up in the box score. So guys who are like fantasy watchers or casual basketball fans that don't really understand the dynamics of how, like, he just gets on the team immediately, like the Heat, and automatically all sales rise. You know what I mean? Like that. The leadership and the work ethic and all these things that he does and playing defense and not having fancy jump shots or crossovers or showtime dunks, people don't really see a lot.
Facts.
A lot of the value in his style of play.
Yeah, and then when the game is on the line and it's crunch time or you need a clutch bucket, the Bama gets buckets. It might be dirty. It might come in the form of a.
He played like somebody from Baltimore.
He do, dog. He played dog,
like
he
gritty, get to the bucket,
gritty.
like tough, and like he'll get 30, but it's not gonna be a bunch of threes and like pretty. You know what I mean? Like it's just gonna be. Gritty,
I don't even think the Bama shoot threes like that, dog. I don't even see him shoot threes like that.
Not really.
And that's another thing in this new age basketball era. Everybody's accustomed to that's how people get their buckets. Like they shoot trays. And so if you're not one of those guys, you automatically just get like kind of pushed. If you're either one or the other. You're either getting the dunks like Ja Morant and you getting big time highlights in the paint, right? Or you like on the Clay Steph side of the spectrum where you just hitting, you know, a lot of 3-point shots and your shooting game is crazy. He's like a 1995 basketball player, dog. This Bama is mastered the 15-foot around the cup.
He'd be a Hall
game.
of Famer in that old league. First
dog, he just gets buckets and he's very like Aaron say gritty. He straps up on defense, so it's not like he going just he not gonna let you score on him like he's scoring you, and that's a different kind of player. No, like there's not a lot of players like that in the league. Like even DeMar DeRozan, I feel like is a kind of like he's in the same like space as Jimmy Butler, but Jimmy Butler has like another like competitive edge that I feel like that DeRozan doesn't have.
So, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Whoever that, if it's Quinn Cook, whatever, like. I don't know. I mean, I know they be in the Jones and be talking, but dog, I'm not buying it. The Bama gets buckets. He gets buckets. Before we get out of here, the plot. Oh, not him. The other white guy. It's getting real kind of dicey for the Washington Commanders, but Dan's still standing strong. He put out a rebuttal statement to the allegations that came out by the former employee, and is he going to skate through this?
He's not going nowhere, Harold.
He not going nowhere, Aaron?
Teflon
You
Day.
sure?
He's not going nowhere.
Jeremy, what you think of the allegations? Is this enough going to finish the man?
Ultimately, no, because I do believe owners like Jerry Jones, Robert Kraft, we've already seen like was it Mark
Maras.
Davis, the Maras, the Bidwells, the legacy owners are going to make sure that he stays because that takes heat off of them. That is the only reason he stays, to be honest. What he's being accused of, or what he's been accused of for years, should have been enough to lose his team. Like, I mean, we saw Jerry Richardson lose his team for simply saying, yo, you look good in them jeans. Like, pretty much. Like, this is pretty much how he lost his team. And to have the whole situation with the Washington cheerleaders be proven, and then you had more incidents with the cheerleaders.
He paid bread to them youngins. You
like
already know.
that was already enough. And now you having where you talking about stashing money and putting it, moving it around to make it seem like you didn't make as much as you did. Yeah, man, that's messing up the revenue for the league, which is messing with the other owners. But as we know, these other owners are dirty. Robert Kraft, he's already had his incident open with the rub and tug. You have Jerry Jones, who got the, child that out of nowhere that's like 25 years old that just came out. We don't know what else is you don't know where the bodies are left for the Cowboys. And we've seen other owners do wild stuff. The Irsay, he's done wild stuff.
Wow.
And it
that
still
Bama
has
might
his
be the
team.
wild. He might be the wildest Bama
My
in the
fault.
whole league.
So
he
Bama
was
caught with
sniffing coke
30,000
dog.
cash and drugs in the
Coke
car.
in the room. Dog, he was in the room snorting the coke.
He
with
Marion
young-
Barry.
So the fact that all these guys have been able to keep their team and they have support among each other. He ain't going nowhere, man. He gonna be right there. And Commander fans just gotta they gotta deal with it, man.
Yeah,
they just gotta deal with it at this point. The only hope for them is that new stadium is in Washington D.C. because let them move to Prince Williams or let them move out to let them move out to
get them out of here.
Let them move out. At least at Loudoun County, the train goes out there. You can get on the Silver Line, but let them go out to Prince Williams, man. It's gonna be terrible, man. You might as well just bring another team in Washington, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get rambling with Rio Robinson on here to talk about it. He podcast in the area, follow the Washington Commanders, following everything that they do. So we're gonna get him on here next week to kind of break down where we stand as a roster and what needs to happen. Because right now it's looking real bleak, dog. We ain't got no money, we ain't got no players. I don't trust them drafting anybody good. Some of the people that I'm hearing in the rumblings with the team, I'm like, dog, if they get him, I'm out. I'm putting all them teams in a hat and just picking. Are y'all watching the USFL? Anybody watching that, John?
I saw the last 3 minutes of the game on Saturday, which was actually good. The Birmingham versus the New Jersey Generals. The last 3 minutes was good. I didn't watch the rest of the game, so I don't even know what happened.
Oh, the product looks pretty solid, dog. It's just another cheap labor force that the NFL try and get, so he could be Bama be cooking in that jump like, oh yeah, we'll sign you to a 3-year deal for $575K. Come on. Like
what I do like about so far from the little bit of knowledge that I know, the uniforms look good. Like they're clean. They don't look cheesy. Like they look like professional uniforms.
Yeah, it looks solid.
Yeah.
So apparently, one of the coaches for the Pittsburgh Maulers, he cut a player because he wanted a chicken salad and he didn't want chicken salad and he asked for pizza. And so I guess the coach Kirby Wilson basically brought him in the room, and he's just like, I'm gonna have to let you go, son, because because of the incident and blah blah blah. We can't tolerate disrespect on the team. And his coon chip was all the way activated.
Coon chip.
I'm like, dog, if you just don't think the Bama can play, be a man and just say that. Don't give me this bogus reason talking about, oh, he disrespect and we just heard that and it just whatever. Like the dude was like, and this is the thing, when people are lying versus telling the truth. Because he was like, I say, yes, I do have a problem with it. This reminds me, dog, when I was in college, because this is a story about this joke made me mad because I thought about when I was in college. So I was in college and I was playing at Washington Adventist University, dog. And this is back when we had ballers on the team, but the coach was so trash that we was getting blown out by 40, 50 points by teams, right? And so I'm sitting on the end of the bench, right? And I'm a freshman. And I'm better than half the players on the team. And of course, like the reason I wasn't playing is because of my attitude. I mean, y'all already know. My attitude was trash. I was like, dog, these Bamas is trash. I'm like, dog, I'm better than him. So I'm sitting on the bench. I'm storming. We getting blown out by like 40. So it's literally like a minute and 22 seconds left, right? And the assistant coach, he gonna look down the bench and he see me. He's like, hey, Laws, you want to get in the game? And I look back and I was like, I look at the scoreboard, I look at the clock. I make a face like, I said, nah, I'm good. He's like, you don't want to get in? Right? So I didn't know that it was a directive from the coach to me to go in the game. The assistant coach asked me, did I want to go in the game? That's a question. So I could say yes or no. So I said, nah, I'm good. The coach was saying, put him in the game, but the assistant coach asked me if I wanted to go in the game. So then afterwards, we in the locker room, the coach is spazzing on us. We got blown up by 40. He like, some of y'all, disrespectful. Y'all don't want to go in the game when I asked y'all to go in the game. This, and that, right? So I'm looking around. I'm like, I wonder who this man talking about. Like, I'm confused. I'm like, dog, who is he talking about? Like, why is he so angry, right? I'm like, dog, we've been getting whooped all season long
Right.
by 40.
Like that's the reason that they lost by 40.
So I'm like, what is the problem? So then we get on the bus. This Bama's like, I need to talk to you. I'm like, all right. I'm like, okay. So I sit by the, he's like, I'm gonna have to let you go from this team. I was like, dog,
Thank you.
Am I the right person saying, like, what did I do? He's like, you didn't go in the game. I said, dog, the assistant coach asked me a question. If I ask you a question right now, when I put yes or no, and I was 18 talking to Obama who was 52, you know it's just already gonna be I'm 18 talking to the Bama like he 10. Cause I'm like, dog, you say, do you hear what you're saying? If I ask you right now, and I'm talking just like I'm talking about, you can't talk to somebody who's 52 years old like they're a kid when you 18, right? I'm like, dog, if I asked you right now a question, do you want ice cream? And you said no, that's not disrespectful to me. That's you answering the question. So I'm confused. But I was like, nah, dog. I'm gonna have to let you go from the team. I was like, all right. I said, okay, right. And then that whole semester, they was getting waxed every game. And Bama just kept looking like, dog, we need you back on the team. I'm like, dog, I'm not playing with these bums, dog. And then the next semester, I think I transferred or something. Came back. No, that jump.
And the good old Columbia Union College basketball days, Harold.
Dog, that's when it was CUC, dog. We used
the Pioneers, man.
We used to hold the CUC up, dog. Like CUC
Division II Pioneers,
Division
man.
No, we had some ballers, dog, on the squad.
Y'all had some ballers, man. Y'all definitely did.
I was
y'all just ain't have a coach. That's what it was.
Coach, dog. Yeah, we just didn't have a coach.
That's what it was.
Slumball millionaire, dog. But I feel for main man. Like, I mean, it's better off because the coach looks stupid cutting him for that reason, dog. He looks dumb.
Yeah, man. I just read while like you were talking about it. I said, what? Like, and this is making the league look terrible. Like, to be honest, when you think about it, like y'all just this upstart. Y'all ain't the NFL. Like, y'all this upstart. And he simply just asked what he want to eat. And you're like, I'm gonna try to eat this. Like,
you need all the players you could get right now, dog. Because you just don't like. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like when the coon chips be activated and people be doing stuff just for looks, like, or just to get seen.
Yeah, that's the biggest recognition and soundbite he had his whole career, and will have his entire career.
I'm a first time coach, and you know I hate to do this, and because he's seen it on TV, he's seen it on NFL Network himself, and so now he got to play it out in real life, dog. That's not how you treat people. That's not how you treat people. So we'll see. Follow us at OSS 980 at Other Side of Sports. Shout out to my man Jeremy for joining us, man. Appreciate you always coming through, rocking out with us. Shout out to Kicking It with G-Man, Lance J Radio, Free Agent Radio. Of course, Sports Reality. You go check that out.
Yeah, man. We on a hiatus, but you know, we'll be back.
No, we ain't never. Next week, right? We gonna get into the draft. Next week is the week of the draft, and so Wednesday we got a special show. We're gonna get into the draft picks. You're gonna want to tune in. Trust me, you're gonna want to tune in. This is where we actually make money, dog. This is where we actually show the world that we are the best that do this. And my wife get mad at me for tooting my own horn, right? People ask me, they be like, dog, you golf? Are you good? I be like, yeah. Like, I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you the truth, right? We have no stake in the game. We not getting paid by ESPN. None of these draft picks putting money in our pockets. They will at some point try, but we keep it all the way 100. And we're going to go through the quarterbacks. We're going to go through, all the positions that you care about and who the players that teams need to be looking at, right? Are they good? Are they sorry? Especially the quarterbacks, dog. I've been looking at the quarterback tape as of late. A little teaser. The guy who I think is the best, I don't think everybody else thinks he's the best. Because Pickett, he not the best to me.
Trash.
Out of this class. The other dude, Corral, he okay, but he not the best to me in this class from what I saw. And we're gonna get into all that quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs. We'll go through some of the teams as we a simulated mock draft of like players and teams and who they should go after. But primarily that date is going to be set to go over the draft picks, right? So whoever teams choose, you at least know and be like, oh yeah, that Bama's official, or dang, we got him. He trash according to OSS. So you're going to have a clear understanding of who's good, who's bad going into the draft. And that's next Wednesday. So you definitely going to want to tune in. Subscribe to the channel, share the content. We appreciate everybody who rock with us. Will, Dan, everybody who rock with us heavy. Appreciate y'all. And we out.
Oh, it ain't too late to go to Vegas.
I'm still thinking about it. Yeah.